Canada is facing a moment that demands clear eyes and steady nerves. Across the hemisphere, the possibility of a major power asserting control over Venezuela and its vast oil reserves has raised serious alarms among economists, diplomats, and security analysts. Many fear that such moves would not be driven by humanitarian goals, but by the strategic acquisition of resources. An approach that could reshape global power dynamics and directly affect Canada's own security and economy. One of the biggest concerns lies in Alberta. Venezuelan heavy crude is remarkably similar to the oil produced in the Alberta oil sands. Refineries along the U.S. Gulf Coast are already designed to process both. If access to Venezuelan oil were expanded or controlled by outside powers, Canada's status as the safe and reliable supplier could weaken. The leverage that Canadian oil has provided in trade disputes and tariff negotiations could shrink almost overnight. But the warning goes beyond economics. Many observers are deeply worried about what happens to international law when powerful countries intervene in weaker ones and lay claim to their natural resources. If rules are replaced by hierarchy, global politics becomes a pecking order. That kind of world encourages copycat behavior, increases instability, and makes smaller nations more vulnerable. There is also a hard question Canadians must ask themselves. Could similar strategies one day be turned toward Canada? Narratives can be constructed, enemies can be invented, and crises can be exaggerated. Claims have already been made about threats coming across the Canadian border that do not match reality. Canada holds the fourth largest oil reserves on Earth. When resources are seen as prizes, pressure follows, sometimes through militaries, sometimes through tariffs, sanctions, and economic coercion. Domestic politics are part of this story as well. Some leaders respond cautiously, speaking through diplomacy and alliances. Others applaud aggressive foreign actions, without considering how those same tactics could threaten Canadian sovereignty. Any leader seeking to govern Canada must be prepared to defend Canadian resources, Canadian borders, and Canadian decision-making from outside pressure. No matter who sits in the White House. There is also a practical reality about Venezuela itself. Even if any outside power tried to control its oil sector, the road ahead would be anything but easy. Infrastructure is degraded, engineers and specialists have left, and authority inside the country is divided among multiple armed and political groups. Anyone attempting to simply take over would likely face years of sabotage, resistance, and instability, not an instant economic victory. An image may help make the stakes clear. Imagine a small town where everyone agrees to respect each other's property. People buy milk from the local farmer because he is nearby and dependable. Then one day, the strongest resident decides to seize a distant farm instead of paying for milk. The local farmer hasn't just lost a customer, he has learned that fences no longer matter when the strongest person owns the bulldozer. From that day forward, no one's land truly feels safe. Canada now has to think carefully about the world it wants to live in, a world governed by rules, or a world governed by strength alone. Energy, sovereignty, international law, and the future of Canadian leverage are all on the table. The question is not only what happens in Venezuela. The question is, what happens next, everywhere else?